Hey everyone. Um, just a note. When I say we're going to meet via email, that means that you're going to still do your work, you're still going to upload it, and you're going to tell me that it's there, and that I will give you feedback via email. But if you don't upload your work and you don't tell me that it's there, then I can't do that. And that kind of means you don't get any work done that week. And it kind of means it's not an absence per se, but it means that you're not keeping up with your work. And we're not now at the point of midterms. We don't have any midterms in this class, but I do send you a note saying this is where I think you are and this is what I think you need to be doing if you're missing out. Um, some of you are better at others at keeping up with your work. I really want you to do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to, we're going to meet via email, and that means still doing the work and definitely telling me that it's there so I can go and check it out. The reason I don't check your folders all the time is because there's loads of you. There's 12 of you, 13 of you. And so that would mean going through everyone's folders every couple of hours, just hoping that somebody has uploaded stuff. So you need to tell me when it's there, and that will make your life easier and make my life easier. And it'll mean you'll get a better portfolio, which is the whole point of this class. This video is about job hunting. Now, obviously, most of you have gotten jobs in your life and you kind of know about job hunting, but this is more focused on design type jobs and using your network to your advantage in this whole process. So, when you've just graduated, or even before you graduated, you have your resume, cover letter, website, branding, business card, and now you're armed to find a job. You have everything lined up. So soon you'll be out of school and you won't be doing loads of classes. And you also won't be surrounded by people who have a similar experience to you and professors who have your best interests at heart. When professionals look at your portfolio, they don't necessarily tell you what they think. And if you don't get hired, they mostly won't tell you why you don't get hired. And it's not because they're jerks or anything. It's just that they're looking at loads of portfolios and saying, I can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Okay, we'll do this. So they can't go, or they won't go back to all the people who they denied because there's not enough hours in the day, really. That's most of them. Not necessarily all of them, but most of them. So if you're talking to somebody in person and they look at your portfolio, they say, okay, thank you very much, and that's it. So it can be frustrating because if you're not getting hired, you don't know why you're not getting hired. That's why we spend so much time on your presentation skills and practice interviewing, which we'll be doing next week, and preparing your portfolio in as professional a way as possible before you graduate, so that if somebody looks at your portfolio and you're not there, they will know the story of your skills purely by looking at your website or looking at your portfolio PDF. Because once you're out there, you won't be getting the kind of feedback that you get at school. So, as practice, it's not a bad idea to show your work and your branding to your friends, family, professors, and fellow students, particularly in a non-pressured situation. So, an assignment this week is to show your designed resume and cover letter and business card to your group. Now, your group is going to be 3 or 4 people in this class, and I'm going to put, in fact, I already have put the groups and the contact information of everybody on Brightspace. So you look it up under content, and you contact your group members and you send them the stuff that you've designed already, and you get feedback from them. Sometimes feedback can be incredibly helpful. You can notice things that you never noticed before, or you'll understand that something doesn't make sense the way you thought it did. And sometimes you disagree with the feedback. I've noticed some of you disagreed with some of my feedback. Fair enough. Throughout your career, you will hear this kind of thing. Everybody has an opinion on your stuff. It can make you feel bad, and sometimes it can make you feel great. Sometimes you could say, "Oh wow, that person really helped me out." It can be an emotional roller coaster. So you try to take the emotion out of what you hear. Just think to yourself, if I get a negative critique, are they making a good point? Does this make sense? Or is this pushing your buttons in some kind of weird way? Critiquing a critique is an art in itself. Like I said, when you interview, they tend not to say why you didn't get the job. But you can always ask them, especially if you had a face to face interview, so you're not a kind of anonymous just resume. So you can get back to somebody, say, I know I didn't get the job. Can you tell me why? If you have the time, please. Thank you. You're welcome. It doesn't mean you're going to get an answer from them, but there's no harm in asking. And it's a little scary, but you could discover some useful information. So now to the job hunt. Finally getting there. There are lots of job boards on the internet. A job board is simply a site where jobs are listed. And I suspect you're familiar with at least some of them. Some are more for people with lots of years of experience under their belts. Others cater to people with all kinds of different experience. And the ones I'm about to tell you about are listed on Brightspace, so you don't have to take notes or anything. We have Dribble Jobs, Authentic Jobs, Crop.com, Coraflot, AIGA Jobs, the One Club Jobs, Creative Hotlist, Craigslist, Indeed.com, New York Times, Flex Jobs, How Design, Behance Job List, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Simply Hired, Upwork, 99 Designs, Get.it. These places go in and out of business, and there are new ones coming along all the time, and sometimes they buy each other. So Upwork and 99 Designs have questionable reputations, and I'm sure you've heard at least of 99 Designs. So some people have started a freelance career using these sites, but they're notorious for low fees and enabling scammers. This is a problem on the internet, and if you can possibly do it, try to use more reputable sites. Sometimes people use 99 Designs just to get some stuff for their resume, which is totally fine, but you can't live off of those low fees. As far as I know, the other job boards that I've listed there, they're legit. That can also change. The internet is a bit of a Wild West. So now that we're in the golden age of working from home, which some people like and other people hate, you can look for jobs in another state or even another country, either with the intention of moving there or just working remotely. I put on the list I put it on a UK job board. Why not? Give it a blast. Another way of getting work is through employment agencies, specifically design employment agencies. An employment agency works to find opportunities for you based on your skills and experience. Employment agencies serve as intermediaries between you and employers. They will send you opportunities to apply for. Freelance, full-time, part-time jobs. Your employer pays them a fee every time you get work through them. And this is also a great way to get into the market and pays better than 99 Designs, and you get some highly useful experience. When you get temporary work through an agency, you tend not to make as much money as you would if you got the work by yourself, because the agency takes a hefty fee for finding you. However, they're still better than 99 Designs. So some of these design employment agencies are Creative Circle, Aquent.com, iCreatives, The Hired Guns, ArtisanTalent.com, ScionCreativeStaffing.com, DesignRush.com. By the time you graduate, there will be new ones. So just do a search, but I've already put these ones on Brightspace to help you get started if you want. LinkedIn also posts jobs and sends you job opportunities as they come up. You just have to set up the alert. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date and say in the description that you're looking for work, because that will help you come up in the search for the job that you're looking for. As you update your resume, update your LinkedIn profile. Students get contacts and interviews just by having a LinkedIn profile, purely by posting their information there and making sure that you include all those SEO words that I posted on Blackboard. They're listed under resume keywords. They should be in your resume. They should be on your LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you can join design-related groups and post relevant design-related news and links. Someone could notice you and opportunities may come up, and they do. I'll be talking more about social media as the semester progresses. Now, you might have a favorite ad agency or design studio or movie studio or publishing house that you really, really want to work for. You can go to that company website and look on their careers page. This can be called lots of different things. It can be called the jobs page, the employment page, human resources, the do you want to work for us page, other names that I can't think of. They often list job opportunities and internships with the proper contact information right there on their own site. Basically, they don't bother to advertise. They already know that ambitious designers will contact them directly, or they're just finding people through their own network. So basically, you want to get into that network. So check out their page. This also goes for industries. If you love fashion or sports or the theater or finance, look on the websites of those companies and see what's available. See if they're looking for a freelance designer. I've gotten people freelance design gigs with small theater companies, for instance. They will put it on their own websites. If it looks like the kind of place you want to work, contact them. There are often jobs or internships listed and you can apply directly to them. If there's no jobs listed, just see if they want to look at your portfolio. So this is not a terrible idea. Since you're not directly applying for a job, you're free to ask for honest feedback on your portfolio, and often professionals will just help out young designers this way. I mean, often they won't, but often they will. And if they like your stuff but don't have a job available at the time, you're kind of getting onto their radar for a future opening. And you link to that person and that company on LinkedIn. Many companies do this because they don't have to make the effort to advertise a position. The designer simply approach them. Be one of those approaching designers. Everything I'm telling you could change by next year, next month, by the time you graduate. So do the research and spend time getting to know the online world of hunting for design jobs, as well as getting to know who the companies are in your concentration. This is so much easier now with the internet. There's no excuse not to know what's going on in the design world in New York, across the country, and around the world. Sometimes you'll be in a position to send out like 20 resumes. You say, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this. I think that companies get very overwhelmed with resumes sometimes. If you work through an agency, the agency will be very specific about those resumes. If they want somebody to do, animation for a company, publishing company, they'll look for people with that particular set of skills. So they curate the resumes. So I recommend that you curate the jobs that you apply for. Don't just apply for everything. Really try and target your resume towards the stuff that you want to do rather than I just need a job. There's just fewer things for you to think about. And it makes your resume and your branding and your, online projection more focused and more particular. And I think that makes you more hireable because you're not like, I'll just do anything. You could be one thing, you could be another, you could do all these other things. I mean, often you'll take a job like that. But if you try and focus yourself towards what you want, you're more likely to get what you want. And you're not sending out 20 resumes a day. You're sending out 2 or 3 for places you really want. So when you address them or when you do your cover letter to them, it's going to be a lot more authentic. It's like, no, I really know about your company. I really want to work for your company because you do this and that and here, and then I do this and that and here, and your voice becomes much more relatable to the person looking at it. People say I applied for 50 jobs last week. Well, did you really? Do you actually want any of those jobs? Go after the ones you really want and be very specific about it. That's my recommendation. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. And as I told you before, there's that trick with resumes. If you put a space before your name on the document, you go space, Louisa McCabe resume, that automatically makes you go to the top of the list on a folder full of resumes. Other people know this trick as well. But, so what? Take advantage of those little advantages that you know will bring you more to people's attention, and they'll know that you know that, and they'll say, oh, that person is on the ball. It's a little thing. So when we talked about networks last week, when you're looking for work, tell your network that you're looking for work. You can say it to a person, post it in some form on social media, tell your parents, tell your cousins, tell the guy in the bodega, tell the waiter at the restaurant that you're friends with, tell your professors, tell your friends. These things filter out into the world, and it could come back to you in a useful way. Some of you already have a job. However, the design world is fast moving. New companies arise, regime change happens, new possibilities open up on a dime. You may feel you're underpaid, and chances are you are underpaid. And you might be bored with your job. You may have an unfriendly workplace. And to be honest, you can always get fired. And often you can get fired for dumb reasons, which has nothing to do with you. It's just like new boss wants new people working there, or wants their wife to get a job or whatever. So I recommend that you always have your resume, social media, portfolio, website, LinkedIn profile, all of this stuff, always have it updated, no matter how happy you are in your job. You never know when you may need it quickly. You might meet somebody who works at a great agency who will tell you about a new opening. So be like the Boy Scouts and be prepared. Also the Girl Scouts. So a reminder, you owe me a 2-sided business card if you haven't done that already. Your resume doesn't need to be perfect in order for you to start your business card, but your logo has to be finished. You'll be following the branding of your resume on your business card. Generally, you put your contact information and QR code on your website. Generally, you put your contact information and QR code on one side of the business card and your logo large on the other side. Hopefully you've done this already, but if you haven't done this already, do this before you meet with your group so that you can trade business cards and give each other feedback. So one more time, this week's assignments: contact your group, get feedback on your resume and your cover letter and your business card. Your groups are posted on Brightspace content. Make sure you have included your resume keywords on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, set it up now. Link to me and everybody else in the class. Have your business card, cover letter, and resume ready to show your group. If you haven't finished it yet, do that before you meet. I will talk to you soon.